Hello, Aquarius. This is Sage, and looks like it's time for your reading. And my self-love chart has been coming up for a lot of people lately. For a lot of readings, and yeah, make your own self-love chart, man. Like seriously, it's good for you. But it's nice that it keeps coming up because that makes me feel like my audience is so similar to me. But anyway, so this your my self-love jar came up for you. Um, and also to explain this little thing over here, there is a smoky quartz and there's a bunch of sunflower seeds. Do not ask me what sense it makes. It just feels right. So we'll find out if there is more meaning to it later on. But it just feels so good, Aquarius. Like maybe you need smoky quartz energy and sunflower seed energy, maybe, and a bit of self-love. So let's see. Let's pick some self-love. Let's just pick one for now. Okay, so it has like a bunch of flowers doodled on the back. So I'm thinking this has something to do with simplicity. Let me see what it says, because like this is my self-love jar, so it's like super cheesy and personal to me. So I'm just gonna read what's okay for you. Okay, nothing and no one is as wonderfully comforting as you are, Aquarius. That's what it says. You are simple, you are wonderful, and you are such a comfort. Okay, so let's just put that there. And okay. So what also came up for you was the Herb Crafted Tarot. And you know what? Let's just brush all of the self-love down here. Yeah, for whenever we need it. Okay, well, let's just have that there. Okay, so the thing about this deck, the Herb Crafter's Tarot, is that it all feels very much like magician vibes, taking note of your resources and working with them, but in a very earthy, plant-y way. So yeah, and it often comes up for people that are doing the work and they want to reach a certain level, right? So I often end up using this to like describe how someone's leveled up, you know. So let's see what your cards have to say about you, Aquarius. So I'm just thinking your status before or currently. Your status before or currently. We have turmeric, the 8 of earth, and what you want to work up to. We have the Madre of Air, which is Motherwort, and the High Priestess, Mugwort. Okay. So you really want to get a hold of your thoughts. You really want to get a hold of your intuition. You want to lessen the noise in your head. You want to be able to move forward with with more confidence, more clarity, actually. So the fact that this came upside down makes me think, Aquarius, that you do know your shit, but maybe you're not confident enough to teach it. Maybe that's what it's talking about, the teaching part. You don't know if your um, you don't know if your intuition is going to come um, and save you at the right time, things like that. So let's see what the Madre of Air has to say. Quick bite, deep nourishment, say what you mean what you say, be fierce in service to the heart of the matter. And then let's see what Mugwort has to say. Mugwort. Yeah. Follow the fragrance of mystery, awaken ancient memory, divine messages in dreams and visions. Okay. Okay, so this is really interesting, Aquarius. So it looks like this one is upside down, but I do not like seeing reversed cards, so I'm putting it upright over here. But like literally, it's saying that you have gold in you to share with others. You just don't trust yourself enough to do so. Maybe you trust yourself enough to put yourself in the work that you're doing, and if it was only you that you had to be responsible for, I guess you could do it, you could continue on. But the truth of the matter is, anyone as knowledgeable as you needs to pass on that information. You need to teach, you need to make sure the younger generation learns, or like the people around you learn. You need to interact with your community. So okay, so let's see what can help you really trust your turmeric energy more and share it with the world. We have the North Node coming up. So that's interesting that the North Node has come up. Like that would kind of imply that you're done, or more or less done, with working at your South Node. So I don't know if you guys know much about astrology or not, but like they say South Node is the stuff that comes in, like the urges that comes in from your previous life, and North Node is like a goal for this life of yours. But sometimes you kind of need to work the stuff in your previous life before um, moving ahead to the North Node, which is the goal for this life. So I think you are ready. So whatever it is that you had to do to help yourself, whatever it is you had to do to build your own foundations, that stuff is done. And now it is time to focus on your goals, to focus on the purpose of this life. You have made your energy golden. You've cut the brown roots of you, and you've got into the golden, orange, sunlighty uh, energy at the core. You know what I mean? And that energy needs to be spread out into the world. That energy needs to go on clothes. It needs to go to other people. They need to wear it. They need to hang out with you. They need to talk to you. They need to you are a resource. You are an important and very comforting resource. Okay, and you are ready to contribute to the world, you know, like everything that you were doing to like solidify yourself first, because that's the sensible thing to do, right? Like if you want to help others, a drowning man can't save anyone. So yeah, you're not drowning anymore. If you've ever been before, you know, you're not on shaky ground anymore. You have a solid foundation, so you're ready to contribute. You know, you're ready for the next step. You're ready to be a part of a community. But for all of that, you know, there's a bit of um, there's a bit of growing that needs to happen, you know, like you might have a lot of intuition already right now, um, but that intuition is easier to trust when it's just yourself that you are responsible for. Imagine being responsible for several other people, you know. Can you still trust your intuition? So that's really the question here, you know, that's the growth trajectory now that you're going to be facing, because you do want to arrive at this level of high priestess awesomeness where, you know, you have access to all the intuition, you know, be it dreams or visions or just doing like an inner journey, things like that, you know, like you want to have every access pathway to your intuition open, you know, and you want to be able to trust it. Because if you can't trust your own intuition, when the stakes are high, when, you know, there's a lot to be responsible for, you're gonna falter, you know, you're gonna falter if you don't have a good relationship, a good, strong relationship with your high priestess, you know. Mugwort is here because it does help with dreams. Apart from like cleansing, it does help with promoting good dreams, and stuff like that. And the madre of air over here is really interesting. This might be, you know, your true personal goal, but this would be what other people would really see, you know. You need to project um, a demeanor of someone who says what she means, um, speaks the truth, means what she says, you know, and is firm and knows her mind and knows the mind of other people, you know, and if she doesn't, she's curious, she will ask, you know. So the madre of air is quick with the sickle if need be also. So let's see what can help you really embody that, you know, apart from focusing on your intuition. What else can help you really embody that level of surety and clarity, you know, when dealing with new circumstances, high stakes, other people's lives, you know? So let's see. Waxing crescent moon. Okay, waxing crescent moon will help you. So I guess it's just like a cycle that you need to observe, you know. Like when the moon is waxing, maybe you do feel more fuller, more confident, more able to make on the spot decisions concerning other people and high stakes, you know. So you could develop a practice of being spontaneous during waxing moons or the waxing periods, you know, being spontaneous during the waxing periods and being there's just like a little blotch of red light that doesn't move, and it's staying right here, and it just makes me feel like, it's also kind of talking about how your energy really is stronger when the moon is waxing rather than waning. And so being more spontaneous during waxing periods, and running with your intuition during the waxing period is something that can really help you, because it's like you are deciding to run on your intuition in a safe period where your voice of intuition is stronger, so that's a good idea. Then you can chill out on the waning moons and just leave issues for someone else to figure out, and then deal with it in the waxing period. So yeah, so also let's see over here. Sorry if this is a card. I think a card just turned up, but since I just scribbled on them, yeah, Palace turned up. But I'm just gonna put it back. Let me do it properly. So because I didn't finish my question. So I want to know, where is your North Node? Where is your North Node? Oh, there's a lot coming up. Okay, where is your North Node? Aries. Okay, so you're meant to do your own business. Okay, this is not just like a simple, okay. So you're meant to do something on your own. You're meant to like start something totally new, Yeah, okay. You're meant to start something. Maybe all of this knowledge that should not just stay with you and be given freely to people. Maybe you should make like a business out of it. A lot of, when I see Aries and the North Node, I just think of like giving yourself a mission and just doing it. Aries can be such visionary people, they can be such heroes, but it's okay, I think. Your actual North Node may be somewhere else, but for the purposes of this reading, Aries is fine. It tells us enough. It tells us that you kind of need to do this on your own. Like maybe get a few employers and stuff like that, but you need to be the boss. You need to make the decisions. You need to let your spontaneous side really your spontaneous and fiery side really carve out the path on this one. Okay, so let's see what else. Waxing moon and waxing moon. And what else? What else should I put up here? Okay. Waxing moon and what you're trying to move away from. What sort of mindset are you moving away from? Jupiter. Okay, so that's interesting. Jupiter is like, exaggerated, big, exaggerated, blown out of proportion, happy-go-lucky, carefree even. There's a lot of abundance, there's a lot of excesses, so you're sort of moving away from that. Okay. But towards what else? Opposition and square. Moving moving away from Jupiterian energies towards opposition and square. You know what that makes me think of? That just makes me look at the sickle even more. Like, yes, you are a comforting presence, but yes, you also need to get used to fighting with your clients a bit, or like basically being okay with conflict, because if you're going to be in this business of providing your comfort and your wisdom and things like that, it the Aries card over here really means that your whole self will go into this, like, yeah. So yeah, maybe you had like a carefree energy before. Maybe you were just like nice to everyone because you could afford to be. Your feelings weren't too easily, you know, hurt, so you didn't take offense to a lot of things. Maybe you were blunt in a way, but you didn't push it. But Madre of Air is here to say that your next step in evolution is pushing it. You will have to push it. You will have to push your wisdom sometimes. You will have to engage in a conflict, engage in a debate, things like that. All things that will come more easily to you during a waxing moon instead of a waning moon. But yeah, you kind of need to get away from this magnanimous, uh, cheerful, carefree energy and go towards a more fighty energy, you know. Um, like if anybody knows anything about, if anyone knows anything about astrology, you would know that opposition and squares in a chart actually indicate necessary friction for growth, So I know you probably don't like fighting with the people around you, and you always kind of like just do what you want to do, but you don't enforce any of that on other people. But like it's kind of saying that, yeah, you have to, you kind of must. You can't avoid it, you know. You need to be a little more free with the sickle, or at least, you need to be free with showing it, intimidating people. I don't know, maybe, right? So I don't know exactly what it is that you want to do, Aquarius, but it seems obvious that you have gold in you that you want to spread to other people. Ooh, what? Oh, it's the High Priestess. That's so nice. Yeah. Like if you don't understand how you cannot be so carefree and chilled out and whatnot, it's okay. You'll figure it out when you get there. Um, but yeah, basically Jupiter being there kind of means that you've been a little too easygoing, a little too, you know, um, it's like Jupiter is a really big energy, right? But I've seen a lot of people with a lot of like strong Jupiter in their charts. they kind of tend to sometimes engage in self-depreciating humor just to make the other person feel better, which is like, come on, you don't have to do that. And the most common reason these people give is that, oh, I don't feel bad at all. You know, when I'm depreciating myself, I don't feel bad at all. I don't take it personally at all. So literally, these people kind of like put themselves down as a favor to other people. Um, so yeah, don't do that, Aquarius. Okay, so let's just see, okay, how you're likely to grow. Okay, so this is the growth. This is like immediate growth right now. Okay, so we know so far that you have gold in you that needs to be shared with other people. There is warmth and comfort to be had. I don't know if you're going to be like a counselor or a psychiatrist, or maybe you're like going to start some spiritual workshop, or maybe, you know, you're going to do some art, you know, and that art is going to comfort people. Um, but whatever it is, right, whatever it is the gold that is in your core, at your roots. And now it's finally time to share it. You know, you might have shared it before, but it wasn't as healthy as it would be sharing now, you know, because you've got your foundations settled now. You're pretty solid. Okay, you can afford to take care of other people. So okay, and whatever this will be like your whole mission. It will take all of you. You know, your face will be on the front of it, whatever it is, because of Aries being there. Like, your personality has to kind of go into it. Your personality has to go into it. Your face will be the brand, you know, things like that. You'll be creating your own myth, you know. You'll be your own type of Joan of Arc character. So it's that kind of energy. Aries with a mission is never subtle about it. And Aries on the mission uh, is going to announce it to the world and then do whatever the fuck they want to do. So that's pretty much what you're going to be looking at, Aquarius. So once you've accepted it, like it's time and it's okay for you to do that right now. Once you've accepted it, you start out like this. The Fool upside down. Okay. That makes complete sense. Everyone's a bit foolish when they start something at first, and having the Fool upside down though, okay, having the Fool upside down though kind of makes me feel like you're not ready to take the leap, or you don't know how. Let's see if we can have some support for that. Mother of Wands. You know what? At first, when you do not know how to begin, it is enough to just work on whatever it is you're working on. Like, if it's a book, or if it's songs, or if it's, you know, like a course that you're preparing, whatever it is, prepare it in secret and guard it jealously. You know, you see the snake like curling around her eggs, you know, it's just like super protective. She's warming her eggs up. You know, you are focusing on your project, and she's not letting anyone touch it, which is kind of like what you need to do. You need to like really hunker down on it and don't let anyone see, don't let anyone, you know, um, say a bad word. Be protective of your little baby that's unborn, you know. In time, you will grow. Okay. It seems that the more and more you work on this, the excitement for it will just keep growing. And that's all you need to concern yourself with at this point. Now, when you're like, when you've spent enough time really working on your intuition and stuff like that, especially during the waxing moons, and you know, you're trying to not be so carefree and so like lackadaisical and chilled out and easygoing, you know, once you've stopped exuding so much of that, and once you've like embraced conflict, um, once you've embraced friction for the sake of progress, you know, let's see how things begin for you once you do that. The sun, but also upside down. Well, Aquarius, um, so it looks like you'll definitely be getting to know your new self, but maybe you feel shy about exposing it to other people or letting other people see the new you. Maybe you're like sort of keeping it under wraps or trying to find out how to express this side of you in a normal way. So let me just help you there. Okay, so when you come to slowly understand the new you, but you're reluctant to really shine it out or let other people see it, let's see what can help you. Um, what can help you there? Okay, what can help? Hierophant. Okay. So honestly, that means when you come to this part of your journey, you will probably need another tarot reading, or need to lean on someone wiser than you during this period. Like, even if you are, you know, deciding to be like a therapist or something, you will still need your own therapist. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's got nothing to do with any of that, like, even if you're, maybe this has to do with just music, right? Um, you will still need someone wiser than you, who's been through the whole thing, who knows how things go, and can advise you in this regard, you know, or just pop in for another reading and we'll figure it out. So don't worry about this. We'll figure, there's enough people to help you sort this out when it comes up. And it's not a big deal. Like, you know, at least you know who you are now. At least you know the new you, you know. Being unsure of how to express the new you is a nice kind of problem anyone would want to have, you know. So let's see how you grow from there. We have the Judgment upside down. I need to pick up a clarifier, but I think there's a match here. Okay, so the clarifier is the Hanged Man. So the Hangman is just about rebirth, especially with the bat in that card. So really, there's not much to look at here right now. You know, when you get there, when you get to this part of your life, I'll be there for you. Or, there's plenty of other tarot readers that'll help you work things out. But literally, it's just saying that this stuff can't really be explained to you anyway, because it's a rebirth that needs to happen. It's a rebirth that needs to happen. And once you have that rebirth, things will make more sense. Or when you're through it, you will know what questions to really ask. So Aquarius, let me just give you a quick recap, right? The whole goal of this reading is to really help you improve your intuition, trust in dreams and visions, in whatever tool you have. Maybe it's just tarot cards, whatever tool you have, trust in it even more. Whatever trust you have, double it, triple it, because that's kind of what you will need if you're going to put yourself out there, Aquarius. And it looks like, you've always had gold, but you're in a stable place now that you can share that with others. And just hunker down and work on it more and more and more. And don't really show it to other people. But this is going to help you build your excitement about the goal that you have in you. Because maybe you've always kind of not really appreciated it as much, but the more you work on it, the more you put care and effort into refining it, whatever it is your project is, like maybe it's a bunch of songs, maybe it's a book, but the more you work on it, the more excited you'll get. And this excitement is really what we're working towards here right now. You need to be excited about what you have in order to be confident enough to share it. Like if you end up needing too much validation from others when people are not speaking much, that's going to really affect you and you won't be willing to share. So you need to cultivate enthusiasm about your work on your own, without the echo chamber telling you, oh, you're good, it's amazing. Without that, you have to build it for yourself in your own head. You know what I mean? And over here we have a very practical way of increasing your intuition, like run with it during the waxing period, and that's going to help you get in touch with the new you. And you might need some additional guidance when you're there, but that's okay. It's not like additional guidance is going to be hard to find. It's just going to catapult you to an area where you're really taking stock of yourself. You're really changing the way you see yourself. You're changing the way you perceive everything else also. Like just for example, if you've spent all of your life having so much, like suppressing a lot of anger in you, and then all of those years you've also collected a lot of wisdom, but the minute you unsuppress that anger and you have to sort of integrate it with the rest of your personality, your personality goes through a shift. And more than that, Your personality goes through a shift, you know. And more than that, everything you thought you knew before suddenly needs to be adjusted too. You know, when your personality goes through a shift, do you think your eyes stay the same? It doesn't. So you're going to be seeing yourself and the whole world differently, you know. And so you'll have a totally new sense of judgment. When you look at this card, I want you to see all of the other birds as, you know, the kind of thoughts that old you used to have. And this bird is like the new you, watching all of the old thoughts, understanding, coming to a new understanding about the old you and the people around you also. So this is really profound. It's like you're arriving at a sounder wisdom, you know. Because trust me, no matter how wise you are, if you have not unlocked yourself, that wisdom is just half baked, you know. If you have not understood yourself, your wisdom is half baked. So let me pull out another self-love thing to just, you know, end it nicely. Let's see. Where self-love? Here. Ooh. So we have, so it says, you transform the pain and cleanse the shame. You are a glorious purifier. Your energy is refreshing. Yes. So you're a comfort and you are a purifying element in this world. We need that. This world is not like sunshine and rainbows. We need comfort. We need purification. So I hope that's enough motivation to get you through your journey for now. The rest will come once you like really hunker down in on your project and, you know, look at what you've created and be excited for it. Oh wow, so for the first time I'm also seeing it as a child, you know, like parenting is something that you're good at and that can be shared. Okay, Aquarius, I guess we're done. I guess we never found out why sunflower seeds was necessary. But now that I see so much light, like orange light everywhere in your reading, like maybe that's the connection. You know, you're just growing your fire. And maybe sunflower seeds is the way to go, you know. It's very healthy and it makes for a interesting snack, you know. Oh shit, this one is really tiny.